on the global table today is Angie Creaven, the wonderfully talented chef behind Angie's Cuisine. Angie, you're going to make a nice Moroccan dish for us today. What have you got in mind?
Louise, I've got Moroccan lamb with dates and honey, and the reason why I've chosen that is because it's perfect for this time of the year. It's really super for the entertainer because it can be done very well in advance, and it's something slightly different.
That sounds delicious. Take me through the ingredients that you're going to use.
With pleasure. We're going to be using lamb knuckle, sautéed onion, fresh ginger and garlic, minced chili, cumin, paprika, fresh tomatoes, and then we're going to be topping that with fresh dates and honey, and we're going to be serving the lamb dish with couscous and toasted almonds.
Let's get started on our lamb tagine.
Right, Louise, we're going to start with a little bit of olive oil and get that really nice and hot before we add our lamb knuckle and brown it well all over. It will split a little bit, but we need to get that really, really nice and hot. We don't want to play with the meat too much because we want to actually seal all those juices inside the meat. To that, we're going to add our sautéed onion, which has already been sautéed. So we're going to add that to our nicely browned lamb knuckle. And still keeping your heat fairly high, we're going to fry our spices off. And the reason why we want to do that is because we want the little follicles of the spices to burst over the heat to release all those lovely flavors. So in goes our cumin, followed by a little bit of paprika. So if you want it slightly spicier, you add more to it. If you don't want it too spicy, you can play it down a little bit. But don't be too paranoid about your quantities. The main thing is to get those spices to fry off to bring out the flavors. Here I've got some lovely freshly crushed garlic, which we're going to add, and we're going to grate a little bit of ginger into the dish over a little bit of greaseproof paper. You get all the juices, instead of throwing all the juices away, you get all the lovely juices that come onto your greaseproof. Greaseproof is a wonderful thing to have in your kitchen. And then with the back of your knife, you just slide all those lovely juices and the ginger into your dish, and that's how simple it is. We're going to transfer that to our little tagine.
If you don't have a tagine, is that a problem?
Not at all. You can use any oven-proof dish as long as it does have a well-fitting lid, and if it doesn't have a well-fitting lid, then you just make sure that you cover that really, really well with a little bit of tin foil. We're going to top that with some nice fresh tomato, which has had the skins removed and the pips. The Moroccans do not use the pips or the skins on their tomatoes, ever. So we're going to pop that on top of there. If you've got any nice juices, you can add that to your dish from the tomatoes, but they don't use any stock. A nice healthy amount of tomatoes. I've got 3 or 4 tomatoes there. And then we're going to finish that off with some freshly chopped coriander. A nice big pile of freshly chopped coriander. We're going to top that with some tin foil and pop that into the oven for at least an hour to 2 hours, depending on the kind of meat that you're using.
So to save us a bit of time, Angie's already done a completed lamb tagine, which has spent about 2 hours in the oven in this beautiful dish. Angie, shall we take a look?
Yes, let's take a look, Louise. There we have our almost completed dish, and it is cooked to perfection. It's nice and tender. It's made its own juices. And now to this we are going to add our dates and honey. Here I have some lovely fresh dates, not processed dates, which I've taken the pips out and cut into strips. And here I've got some honey, which we are going to add to our dates. Again, for a leg of lamb, you want to add a good 2 tablespoons of honey to your dates. And we're going to water that down with about half a cup of water. We're going to bring that up to simmering point, and then we're going to pour that over our lamb tagine without stirring it. So we want the dates just to sit on top of the lamb before we pop it back into the oven, either in a hot oven for about another 10-15 minutes, or you can pop it under a grill just to crisp those dates up slightly before you serve it.